Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Lauren Nicole, and I'm back at it with another lock video. I feel like it has been a very long time since I actually got in front of the camera and talked to you guys about locks, whether it be my locks or just locks in general. But I actually felt inspired and decided that I was ready to sit down on camera and talk about locks again. My locks are 7 years now. If you guys didn't catch my 7-year update, I know I just did a slideshow. I didn't actually sit down and talk about changes in my locks, but you guys know I've kept a very minimal, very minimal lock routine since the beginning up until where I am now. And at 7 years, I do even less. I honestly do even less. I wash them. I honestly don't even wash them as much as I used to wash them, because the longer they get, you can just pull them up into a ponytail, a high bun. Like, I really honestly don't even do much at all. I don't use oil unless for whatever reason my hair just feels super dry. But my lock regimen has not changed over the years, from year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which was in April. I haven't changed anything that I do to my locks. I'm not as picky with shampoos. As long as it's a natural clarifying shampoo, I'll use it. I'm not picky about my hair at all. So yeah, my locks turned 7 on April 19th and they are long. I will show you guys a full 360 of my locks at some point in this video, but I just showed you guys good angles on my locks at 7 years, but I will do it again. I will do it again. So yeah, my locks have grown. I'm definitely waist length, probably closer to tailbone length. And now that my locks are so long, I have noticed that there are pros and cons of having long locks. So that's pretty much what this video today is about. I just want to talk about the pros and cons of having long locks, because yes, I feel good that I finally arrived, but then sometimes I see like people do a little trim on their locks or something like that. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna start with the cons, because I don't want to end on the cons and have you guys thinking, oh, I don't want my locks to grow. So I'm gonna start with the cons and then end with the pros. For me personally, the major cons are it's heavy. When it's wet. When it's dry, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. But when my hair is wet, when I tell you these babies are heavy, I actually stepped on the scale before washing my hair and after washing my hair, and the number went up like 3 pounds, because my hair is so heavy when it's wet. And so it's to the point where I really don't even like to wash my hair at home unless I have to. I work at a salon suite where there's multiple hairstylists, and so I try my hardest to link up schedules with another stylist in there that might have free time and is able to wash my hair, because it is a lot. Like my neck, my back, and I had these feelings before, but once your hair is tailbone length, honey, it's a whole nother story. Like, the weight is extreme, which also leads to why I don't do a lot of styles. This is usually my go-to style, half up with just, I have like a claw clip holding it together. It's just easier for me, and I do the style all the time, but it's just easier because I don't like my hair in my face, but then I don't like tight styles either. And so this just kind of gives me a cute little updo where I can still leave the length down in the bottom, but just don't have to deal with tightness and pulling and all that, because I can't do it. So yeah, the biggest con is just the heaviness, the weight. Another con is it gets in everything. Like, if you're cleaning or you're doing anything around your house, please tie your hair back, because my worst nightmare was when I was cleaning my toilet and saw one of my little locks dangling in the toilet. Not okay. You don't realize, because you're not used to just, you know, having long, heavy hair hanging all in front of you, and when you start doing chores around the house, it gets in everything. I'm washing dishes, my lock is in the dish soap. I'm eating, my lock is in my food. And so you have to get used to just pulling your hair totally back and out of your face for certain things that you do, because your hair will get into everything. And it's not a big deal. Like, literally all you have to do is remember to pull it back. But if you don't remember to pull it back, you might just have your lock in your food or the toilet bowl. Just depends. So yeah, pull your hair back when you're doing tedious activities around the house. My biggest complaint, which I've done a video on this before, back when I can't even believe people were asking me this at that time in my journey, but my biggest con is people asking me if my hair is real. When I tell you, like, I'm polite, I always answer it politely, but when I tell you that question just irks me, it's because all of us that have gone through this journey know how the blood, sweat, and tears we shed to get our locks to this point, going through the ugly stages, which that's a whole nother conversation. We're not gonna go there right now, but going through the ugly stages and going through just the awkward stages and thugging it out and being comfortable with yourself. It took a long time to get here. And so now that locks are more trendy and people want to just immediately jump into locks, a lot of people will call me and ask to start locks, but they don't realize you have to start with a coil or a 2-strand twist, and it's gonna get fuzzy and it's gonna get crazy for a little bit until it gets to how you want. Like, people just want the final look right now, and so a lot of people have just been, you know, getting instant locks, lock extensions, and that's all good and gravy. But then it just, for somebody like myself who has gone through the process, it's no different than when, like, the natural hair movement started off and, like, girls were going through their TWA phase and then growing out these big luxurious afros and heads full of kinky curly hair, and then all of a sudden, like, the weave companies started coming out with wigs. Now, I mean, now you can literally get a wig to look just like whatever texture of hair you want, 3A, 3C, 4B, like, you can get a wig to look exactly like that in that texture. And it's getting there with locks too. I personally haven't seen any faux locks that look real to me, but I can understand why somebody who is just going for the aesthetic look might think that they've found that. But yeah, you know, kudos, people can do whatever they want to do, but it is kind of just like, damn, when somebody asks you, is your hair real? And then knowing that most people are assuming you have lock extensions or something, it's kind of sad because you really put in this work to get to where you are. So that's probably my biggest con of it all. I promise I get asked, first of all, I get asked about my locks at least, if I'm in public, out and about, at least every other time somebody's gonna stop me and ask me about my hair, whether they're just telling me it's nice or telling me, you know, or asking me, is it real or something like that. So I appreciate the compliments all the time. I really, really do. But asking me if it's real, I'm just like, grr, because somebody really might just pass me in the street and think, oh, her hair is fake. Like, she's got faux locks. She's got lock extensions. No, I do not. Maybe this is 100% homegrown. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums up my cons. My pros are that you really can do any style you want to do. If you don't have a hair tie, you don't need a hair tie. Whenever I want a ponytail, I just wrap one lock around all my locks and create a ponytail. You know, any style you do is gonna come out the way you wanted it to do. It takes less time to do in the mornings because you're really just, locks in general takes less time to do in the mornings, but you're really just not doing anything outrageous to your hair. And yeah, I mean, long locks is amazing. When they're dry, they're not heavy at all. And just seeing what your hair can do. Seeing what your hair can do. Now at the length that I am curious to see what's next. I have talked about trimming, which I know I'm not gonna do. I'd have to be like mid-thigh length before I thought about trimming. But I have thought about what I would do when I get to that point, and possibly maybe like a blunt cut. Long hair is cool, but I don't really, once you get there, I don't need like ankle length hair or anything like that. I used to see locks that length and been like, that's my goal. But once you start having long hair, you just don't. As long as your hair is healthy, that's it. So yeah, the cons are just that my hair is so freeing. To have long hair and do nothing, literally do nothing, because I don't do anything to my hair, you guys, I promise. Wash it, that's it. If I need some moisturizer, usually I like to go in with rose water or some sort of hydrating liquid, but if I need to put an oil in there, I will. The most I'll do is maybe slick down my baby hairs with some Eco Styler gel. That's the most that I do, and I don't feel like I'm missing. I could be doing more styles, but like I said, a style is so heavy. It's cute, but it is just so heavy, and like having hair piled on your hair in a tight style for me is heavy. But just letting my locks down and be free is what I prefer. Usually I do have like 2-strand twist in, not in, but like a twist out. I'll usually have like waves in my locks, but I was doing them so much even that I kind of got tired of it. So I just have been wearing my locks straight. Sometimes I'll do a flexi rod set with the dryer time. That's more in the comments, I should add it. The dryer time for a flexi rod set is unbearable. For me, it's literally not going to be less than 4 to 5 hours, and then I still might try to sleep with the rods in for a few hours. So and that's not comfortable. I can't sleep. I'll be up all night. So yeah, a lot of the styles that I would like to do, just the dryer time, I'm not a fan of. And then yeah, just tight styles up, I'm not a fan of. I like my scalp to breathe and be free, and I feel like that's really why my hair has grown so fast over the past 7 years of me being locked. Remember guys, I started like here. I'll insert pictures again, but I started like here, and now I'm almost tailbone length. So I just tell everybody, trust the process. Nobody ever does. I think people still get so caught up in just seeing mature locks that they're like, this person definitely didn't wait 7 years. No, that person did. That person waited multiple years before what you saw from their locks you liked. But we all start with little, if you start the traditional way, we all started with little squiggly worms that then transformed to a head full of frizz, which then transformed into locks and have just been coming down and changing since. I highly recommend people track their journey, constantly take pictures, because sometimes you don't even see what other people see. You might not see that your locks that you started and then 4 weeks later are shriveled up buds. You might not even see what they're looking like to other people now at a year. So I just think patience is still the same advice I can give to anybody. It hasn't changed over the 7 years. Patience is the best thing to have when you're on a lock journey, and just self-acceptance. self-love, understanding even if you don't like the way your hair looks physically at that moment, what you're doing is literally about to change your life. Because yes, I do feel like my locks have changed my life. They've changed my outlook on things, especially when it comes to beauty within myself as a Black woman. Like, my locks have really changed that for the better. And so, you know, when people tell you guys this stuff, we're not just talking out our ass. Like, this is real stuff. And just, yeah, start those locks. But unless, like I said, if you want to go the faux lock route or the lock extension route, you can do that. But nothing looks better than a traditional set of grown out, homegrown starter locks that went from coils or buds and matured into what they are. That is something that a faux lock just cannot recreate. So that's it. I think I covered the pros and cons, and I really hope you guys got something from this video. Like I said, I know I don't come on as often anymore because now that my locks are mature and growing, there's just really not that much to share. But I felt inspired to come on because I was going through my comments on YouTube on my laptop, because my phone doesn't show me the same comments, but I actually was going through my laptop on comments and like the whole YouTube studio, and still seeing people commenting on videos that I made 5, 6, 7 years ago, saying that my journey inspired them. That really inspires me, and that just motivated me to be like, you know what, it's time to make another video because I haven't. And yeah, I just want you guys to see I'm very happy with my locks. I have no complaints, and I wish you guys all the best with your upcoming lock journeys. All right, take care, you guys.